They're selling the idea that I'm discredited because they want to discredit me. At the same time, they want to discredit the Second Amendment. And they recognize InfoWars is at the heart of defending the Second Amendment and mobilizing the people. Newsweek and Time, 8 years ago, in 2 separate articles said, Alex Jones is the prophet of the Tea Party. And that just means the guy out in the wilderness that is generating the culture, that is generating the playbook, that is generating the blueprint, that is generating the talking points that they then saw matriculating into talk radio, then onto Fox News, and then into Congress. And yes, it's true. We are patient zero. But all I've done is bring the cure to their globalism from Americana and history. I didn't write the playbook of success in America. I simply re-uploaded it. You re-uploaded it. You, the audience. And now we're giving them a run for their money. So the enemy's striking back, and striking back hard. Well, on the heels of the omnibus debacle Friday and that nightmare situation, we are then treated to 500,000 young people led by their teachers, led by their professors, led by the breakaway government of government employees, marching to have the constitutional right that the country was founded on and that actually started the Revolutionary War, marching to declare gun owners the enemy and marching to declare that they would confiscate all of our guns and kill anyone that did not turn them in. We have video clip after video clip after video clip of them saying, we're going to ban all your guns, we're going to take all your guns. And you may say that you're going to take it from our cold, dead hands. Well, we're going to take it from your cold, dead hands. We've got the signs, we've got the speeches, we've got videos from around the country, not just in D.C., with people running for office, for the office of sheriff and other offices, saying, sure, you're not going to turn your guns in, we're going to kill you. And, of course, congressmen going and speaking at town halls saying, time to use the Second Amendment against Trump. This is a real move by the globalists, by the left, by George Soros, who successfully overthrown countless countries, including Ukraine, to pull off the same thing here in the United States. That is what we're facing. That is what we're dealing with. This is the reality. They know politically the country is realigning against globalism, realigning against collectivism, realigning against socialism, realigning against the Department of Education and all these predatory groups, and they don't know what to do except get aggressive. They played clips of myself and Dana Loesch over and over and over again during the 8-hour event that C-SPAN covered live. And they would play clips of me saying Hitler took the guns, Stalin took the guns, Mao took the guns, and if you try to take the guns, 1776 will commence again. They think that by putting that out, which is true, it's inoculating the students to where when they hear the truth later in life, they never wake up and go, wow, Hitler, Stalin, and Mao did take the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And then they played Dana Loesch saying they'll march and they'll rally and they'll blame gun owners, but we'll stand firm. So it's a tactic they use, and I see it a lot. I don't know what to call it. But it's where they take something that's totally true, like water's wet or 2 + 2 = 4, or free market works better than socialism, or America's better than most other countries, and that America actually has lower crime rates than countries that have total gun bans, like Mexico, Brazil, and many others, or that the only country with lower crime rates than us is in Europe, Switzerland, that has basically almost no crime because of their right to keep and bear arms, and that the pockets of crime are in blue areas where they have gun bans. They were playing clips. Last night I got home and I watched hours of it because it had archived. It was over. The live event was over, so I could fast forward to shots in between set changes when they had other Hollywood people come out or other rock bands come out or other hip-hop bands come out and call for gun control, in between the washed-up Hollywood stars and Democratic Party operative students reading their teleprompters and their talking points. And they would play clips of me and Dana Loesch and clips of Charlton Heston and clips of Wayne LaPierre and clips of the Motor City Madman, my fellow patriot and now Texan, who I want to get back on the show this week. We're about to air the big interview we did with him, Ted Nugent. They'd play clips of Governor Huckabee. They'd play clips of everybody, demonizing him, saying this is the enemy. And then they would sit there and say, we're coming for you. You're shaking in your boots. We're going to get you. So what is that tactic where they put truthful things we're saying up and then demonize it? Remember just a month ago, the big evil, YouTube, was taking down my channels. They were taking down thousands of other channels. Weeks later, they banned most of the gun channels. And they said, you're bullying children, claiming that David Hogg and others are crisis actors and no one happened in Parkland. No one died. Was it true? What we said was out of 3,000 students, they picked 4 to fly around on private jets who were Democratic Party operatives to spout their propaganda over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then when anybody criticized them, they said, oh, you're bullying kids. And then they ran newscasts all over the place saying, look, Jones is insane. He says this students' movement nationwide is synthetic and funded. The day after the Women's March, funded by George Soros and the Democratic Party, said, we're running this, we're funding it, we're organizing it. And then BuzzFeed a week later admitted it. So I was reporting facts. And their response was, misrepresent what Alex Jones has said, and then shut him up. Then David Hogg over the last week put out a profanity-laced video going, F gun owners, F old people, they're all morons. We played the bleeped clip. That was banned. So YouTube banned a video of David Hogg bullying himself. You see, because Hogg's like Jesus. You aren't allowed to criticize him. He's the second coming. He's a public figure. He now wears a purple armband. I mean, the fascist iconography is incredible. And they're saying this public figure cannot be criticized. So they're going to have their cake and eat it too, go up to the First Amendment. And so George Soros-funded Media Matters did this same thing where they took the truthful clip I said, the truthful statement. Again, this was on March 4th. I've been saying it for a week before that. Or for 2 weeks before that. It happened on Valentine's Day. And they played it with a clip from my own home like I was weird and I was discredited and I was bad, that I said that it was completely scripted. Now, that was true then. That is true now. This was 18 days after the Parkland shooting. It was known the day after that the Democrats were funding it, giving the scripts. Hogg and others were on video going, I'm sorry, what am I supposed to say? What was it again? Not that they were not victims, not that the shooting didn't happen, but that they were chosen because they were in the drama club, because they were anti-gun, and because they would go along with the agenda. And now, there they are with thousands of buses. We have videos that Jack Posobiec and others shot where you see hundreds pulling in, and still hundreds more. I was there in D.C. when Soros spent $280+ million the day after the inauguration of Trump to bring in over 1 million women, and I saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buses just on the streets I saw. That's major money. And then if you say that, you're evil. If you say that, you're bad. If you say that, it doesn't exist. They want to kill logic. So here is George Soros' group, Media Matters, immoralizing me saying the sky is blue. But again, they put it out like, oh, look, don't say this. It's wrong. It's this appeal to authority, like, we're Media Matters, and all the rest of the media has to look at this now, and here's your script. Go out and say Alex Jones made this up. This is completely grassroots. The private jets, the thousands of buses, the hundreds of millions of dollars, here it is. It's 11 o'clock at night, Texas time, and I'm live here on Facebook for now. We have been banned from live streaming and uploading on our main YouTube channel with billions of views. And I tend to get really animated here on air and in these... You know what? I went to this late. We're going to come back to this. But this is what they put out on the news as fake news. Me saying it was scripted and paid for. the whole response to get our guns. And now we have the videos and their statements where they openly say it. But let's go out with Hogg saying you're shaking because he's coming. Here it is.
You can hear the people in power shaking. They have gotten used to being protective of their position, chewing safety, the safety of inaction.
All right, let's stop right there.
Inaction is
the safety of the globalist bodyguards, the safety of the Republicans trying to get our guns too. No, the power structure is shaking that the American people are awake and most young people are awake, and studies show most Generation Z is awake. And so this is an attempt by Hollywood, the old globalist order, to hype up and push a bunch of young people to be the new spokespersons to sucker in a whole nother generation. So on Valentine's Day, February 2018, another liberal Democrat blue city sheriff's department stood down. Coward County. And it wasn't one deputy, it wasn't two, it wasn't three, it wasn't four. Now we know it's more than 10. Just as witnesses that we had on that day and the day after said, they went outside and there was sheriff's department all just sitting there. And then those videos were banned. And they said that I had said that no one died. And then folks actually saw the videos and they went, that isn't what Mr. Jones said. So it backfired and YouTube had to put our channel back up. And David Hogg and others came out and called for us to basically be shut down. Because it's not just our Second Amendment that they're after our First Amendment. Now, let's continue here. On the heels of that, I get sued, Fox News gets sued for pointing out that Democrats were funding Antifa that helped exacerbate what happened in Charlottesville. They then misrepresent what we said about that. So this is the tactic as they're getting their script ready, using a crisis, not letting it go to waste, as Rahm Emanuel said, the former chief of staff for Obama. So they go pick 4 young people to fly around on jets, who then put out the exact Bloomberg, Obama, Hillary, / Michael Moore playbook, word for word, as anti-gun activists who are now saying they want gun bans in America. First, they said just reasonable restrictions. Now, we have their speeches, we have their signs. They're up on Infowars.com. There's a Steve Watson article we can pull up and show TV viewers where sign after sign says, we'll take your gun from your cold dead hand. We'll confiscate your firearms. We'll ban all guns, on and on and on. And then we've got other speeches around the country at town halls, the same things being said. So this is their agenda. They're being very, very, very honest with us. And some of the speakers, we're going to play clips in the next segment, said the exact same thing. One of the first 4 from Parkland. The 4 horsemen of the Second Amendment apocalypse. That's what they want. That's what they're pushing. But they didn't want the narrative out there of, hey, the Democrats are funding this. Hey, Soros admits he's funding this. Hey, they're flying them around on private jets. Hey, CNN staging town halls and only letting people give the questions that they've been handed. Hey, a lot of these students are conservative and libertarian, including victims, and they don't have a voice. Those were the videos the first week being banned by YouTube via CNN's complaints that were filed. Their tortious interference so that you wouldn't see the other students that we were having on. Silencing them so they could steal their right. And again, Media Matters then puts out the statements. The rest of the media, fake media, picks it up. And so you put a video out 18 days after it happens, totally admitted the Democrats are funding it all. They edit the video where I don't show the article in BuzzFeed where the Democrats admit they're running it and Soros is funding it. They just clip it out and say, look, Jones is a conspiracy theorist. He says the sky is blue. And because they've attached my name to it, they're selling the idea that I'm discredited. Because they want to discredit me at the same time they want to discredit the Second Amendment. And they recognize InfoWars is at the heart of defending the Second Amendment and mobilizing the people. Newsweek and Time, 8 years ago, in 2 separate articles said, Alex Jones is the prophet of the Tea Party. And that just means the guy out in the wilderness that is generating the culture, that is generating the playbook, that is generating the blueprint, that is generating the talking points that they then saw matriculating into talk radio, then onto Fox News, and then into Congress. And yes, it's true. We are patient zero. But all I've done is bring the cure to their globalism from Americana and history. I didn't write the playbook of success in America. I simply re-uploaded it, you re-uploaded it, you the audience, and now we're giving them a run for their money. So the enemy's striking back, and striking back hard. But we have the data, we have the plans, we have their operations, and we have the counterpoints. So here I am stating what's admitted fact as you see the crowd of 500,000 bust in, and CNN lying about the crowd size and saying it was 1 million. Capitol Police said 500,000. And now you understand what they're scared of, the fact that I say 2 + 2 = 4. Here I am on March 4th saying 2 + 2 = 4, even 18 days after. It's 11 o'clock at night, Texas time, and I'm live here on Facebook for now. We have been banned from live streaming and uploading on our main YouTube channel with billions of views. And I tend to get really animated here on air and in these emergency videos I do, but I'm going to really try to be calm today because of the super grave nature of all this. And we will upload this on some backup channels. But think about where America has gotten and where Europe has gotten, where the political left is arresting old women that share memes against ISIS. And they put them in prison. That was in the news today. And they're only a few years ahead of where we are. This is the authoritarianism of our generation. And they say every 3 generations, really hardcore tyranny tends to come. And we're in the middle of that by any historical yardstick. We have seen a huge national scandal that started 7 days ago on a Friday. It's Friday night right now. I'm coming to you from my home. I'm going to walk through all this. But last Friday, CNN said, we are lobbying YouTube to take down Alex Jones. He says no kids died in Florida. He says they're all crisis actors. And then they banned videos where I was saying they're not crisis actors, it's a real shooting. They've just been Democratic Party operatives and been scripted for what they're saying, the 4 they chose for media coverage out of the 3,000. That's all come out. So that was 7 days after, and then I guess a week or so after that, they republished the video. The point is that it's this weird tactic where they take something that's totally true and they put it out there like it's totally false. And this is their big assault. And so we should all be pointing out it's synthetic, it's organized, it's manufactured, it's trying to steal our right. They don't get into the sheriff's department standing down. They don't get into the fact that the person wasn't allowed to own guns. They don't get into the fact that he'd been adjudicated mentally ill. They don't get into the fact that other students don't want to be anti-gun and that they're being silenced. They don't get into the fact they're trying to shut down the free speech of pro-gun people. They don't get into any of those societal issues, or that where you take the guns, you have higher crime rates in every case across the world, not just here in the U.S. They want to blame American gun owners and put guilt on us for 16 dead young people in a Democrat-run victim disarmament zone where they stood down. And then if you criticize that, they try to silence you while they talk about how they're going to kill us. And when I come back, I'm going to play them saying they're coming to take our guns, they're going to ban them all, and they're going to take them from our cold, dead hands, and they're going to kill us. Well, of course you want to take our guns so you can kill us. We understand what you're all about, scum.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
You're a white male! You're a white man!
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We're drinking the conditioning!
InfoWars comes to mind.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones.
There's a lot of controversy around this network about Alex Jones.
Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign by changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to website InfoWars.
It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
JFK was shot from the back and the front.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
The
took the babies out of the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
I think this is a national security imperative. We have clear things that we do not understand how they work, operating in areas that we can't control.
UFOs.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world? The central bankers in charge?
Israel claims the attack was accidental, but some former U.S. naval officers say it was on purpose. They describe the day's action as part of a continuing cover-up.
Russian intelligence compiled a dossier on Mr. Trump during visits to Moscow.
Russian scum!
Denied everything. He called it all fake news.
And he accused CNN of being fake news.
This is a national emergency.
If they kill Trump or remove Trump, it will cause a massive civil war in this country.
This was a FEMA high-level alert.
We are at war with Russia.
Are you aware that Mr. Stone also stated publicly that he was in direct communication with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks?
The White House and the President are citing InfoWars.
They could shut us down. You're next.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Nourish a probiotic-friendly environment in your gut with prebiotic fiber by InfoWars Life. Help the good bacteria thrive and support overall digestive health with our specially formulated prebiotic fiber, a mixture of clinically studied and organic acacia, fruit, and flax fiber. Prebiotic fiber is soluble fiber that ferments in the gut to help feed good bacteria, which helps you digest food, absorb nutrients, and even support your immune system. InfoWars Life's cutting-edge formula only brings you the highest quality, organic, and clinically studied ingredients. Cheap prebiotic fibers are used up only at the beginning of the colon, but our premium organic acacia fiber is slowly digested by the good bacteria throughout the entire colon for maximum prebiotic effect. Head to InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.